So welcome to my yoga toolkit videos. This one is just about using the core to backbend or twist safely. I'm a strong believer that you should use your core at all times to protect the spine, but especially in backbends or twists, it's really important that this is kind of at the forefront of your thinking before going into any of these postures. It's often too late that people get injured and then they're told, oh, you should have been connecting your core, you've obviously not been using your core. So I just thought maybe this was a useful video because it's thrown around a lot. Engage your core, use your core, and it's very easy when you're going into these difficult positions to just be thinking of, I need to get as far around as possible in this twist, or I just want to get as far back into this back bend as possible, and actually that's when injury occurs. And also, if you put strain on the back in that way, even if you're not instantly injured, often the muscles then seize up to try and protect the spine, which causes essentially the opposite of what you're intending to achieve, which is a nice free back bend and loosening the back, gaining mobility in the back. And instead you're causing stress on the muscles, so they instantly act to protect and they seize up, get tighter and contract, and then you get a tight sore back instead. Never ideal. So I just thought a kind of quick video. There's obviously it's actually very there's a lot of information in depth about it, but just to try and break it down into sort of understandable parts. We essentially, if you think about sort of 2 inches above where your navel is, if you think about drawing that in, I'm going to take this off. If you think about drawing about 2 inches above the navel in towards the spine, that helps bring, it engages the obliques, it helps bring the rib cage down, and it helps all the abdominis muscles to kind of collect themselves in to protect the erector spina and the spine and the nerves that go up the spine, up the back. The reason I think this is quite a good way to think about doing it is it's that corset muscle that wraps everything round. Often when people say engage your core, people just tense the muscles. I probably look like I was going to the toilet then. People just try and contract all their abdominal muscles as if they're sort of doing a bodybuilding show and trying to get a six-pack. That's not actually helpful and won't assist you in a back bend, because if you just contract everything in, then when you try and bend back it seems kind of counterproductive, and I get that, but so it's more the sort of very internal muscles that you want to draw in and around the spine, not the external abdominis muscles like the six-pack muscles that you want to contract. So if you just have a go at that, maybe place a finger or a hand on those muscles and just feel like you're just sucking the muscles slightly in towards the spine. If you were to be coming into a back bend, say we were going to do a camel back bend, what you see a lot is people not contracting the muscles around the back to help. So you need to have your glutes engaged. You need to have that corset muscle that I spoke about pulled in and engaged. Then you need to find length through the vertebrae before bending. So it's supported and it's lengthened, so there's space. If we don't lengthen through the crown of the head, the vertebrae are just crushing, compressing onto each other and crushing over each other, which is when people can get like herniated discs, or because the discs in between the bones just kind of get crushed. So you want to think about with any back bend, but this is just an example, lifting out of the crown of the head first, like I said, using those core muscles, the glutes, and then from there you would extend back and into the back bend from there. I'm not going to do a back bend now because I'm not one. But that's essentially it, and the same with a twist. So say we're here, actually I don't want to say we're here, you want to be thinking of even to the point of pulling the leg, engaging the leg muscles in, so the legs engaged, that in turn will mean that the, because I'm sure you can see, when you engage the leg, the glutes engage, so the hip and the pelvis are engaged, which will support the spine. Then the same thing here, if I was to be twisting over this way, for example, I want to be lifting out of the crown of my head, engaging the corset muscle I spoke about, trying to engage the muscles around the leg and the hip, and then reaching across into the twist from there, so everything's engaged. We're not just going and then pushing, see how far we can get round, and just using other muscles to try and whack our spine into a twist. It's the place that's kind of the most vulnerable, what you want to protect the most. Twists and back bends are so beneficial for lots of reasons that you can get into on other videos maybe, but what we really want to be careful of is doing them safely and not injuring ourselves or our discs or our vertebrae, or, well, we don't want to injure anything. So yeah, drop me some questions or comments if you have any. Obviously there's lots and lots of things that play into this, but I just thought I'd keep it short and sweet for now. Yeah, hope you found that useful. Stay safe, twist and back bend safely. Lots of love.